Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Man United agenda. And yes, it is disaster day. We were at the game on Sunday, and we've got a lot to talk about. So, guys, if you're liking, sharing, please hit that subscribe button. We're the Man United agenda. Welcome. Hello, everyone, and yes, welcome to the Man United agenda. And as always, we've got OMONDI. Welcome, OMONDI. We got Mr. B. He's saying nothing. Salam Avilam. We got Rebel. Welcome. And yes, we've got SHAH in the building. Guys, welcome to the Man agenda. And yes, we'll be joined by TTM Sport, who's a Liverpool fan. He'll be giving us his take on the game, but hopefully don't wind us up too much. So let's go through and find out how is everyone feeling after the game yesterday. On Monday, Mr. B, SHAH in the stadium. Just give us a little lowdown quickly, guys, and then let's go into this because we've got so much to talk about.
I'll go first. We had a road trip up north. Was it 4 hours there, 4 hours back? It's a long drive. And one thing I would say, I mean, apart from the result and all the experiences we had up there, it's damn cold in Manchester. And I was shivering on the way home. I'm feeling ill all day. But, yeah, I'm so glad I went up there. It was, something to remember for the wrong reasons. But we're back safe and well.
Mr. B, Sleeping Beauty. You're muted.
This is the face I've had on all bloody day. I've been so miserable. It's painful, man. It's painful. That's gonna hurt for a long time, regardless of what happens today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even Saturday or Sunday. That result's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Talk.
Sure, SHAH. You're on mute.
Yeah, it was evident, wasn't it, today, like that we're all going to be feeling that way, if I'm honest with you. Fans walking out from when the third goal went in after like 30, 40 minutes, and then it just really said it all. But I think, all in all, the day was very positive before. You know, before the match, the fans, everyone were thinking, look, we've got an opportunity, we can show what we can do. And then it just came crashing down. So, you know, before the match, I was happy. After the match, I wasn't so happy. Rebel, how was yours?
Well, I was watching it from the comfort of my armchair, and the feeling of deflation after that game. I saw the second 45 minutes was just the longest 45 minutes of my life, followed by 2 hours of analysis, which absolutely kicked me in the teeth.
Okay. For me, again, great road trip. Absolutely amazing. Laugh, joke, banter all the way to Manchester. Going there for the game, it was one of those things where we got to the game and it's almost like it's fever pitch. The atmosphere starts kicking in and it's almost like, yes, we're at Old Trafford. The fans are buzzing around. I went to Old Trafford very confident we'll get a win. But after the performance, after seeing the fans walking out the pitch, never in the history have I ever known Man United and fans to walk out that early at Old Trafford, because we're all about scoring goals last minute. And for us to concede 4 goals at half time, it's painful. It's painful. But guys, listen, if you're liking, please like, please share, please subscribe. We have got TTM Sport James will be joining us just to give us his overtake on the game. He's a Liverpool fan, but it's painful. It is absolutely painful. Welcome, TTM Sport, to the Mania Agenda, and give us your insight on what you take from the game yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the ratings a moment ago. I don't agree with those ratings that were given out. David De Gea was a solid 7 as far as I'm concerned. He didn't do anything wrong, did he? I mean, let's be brutally honest. Did he do anything wrong? I don't think so. I thought he was good. I thought Mason Greenwood, that rating was harsh. He was sacrificed at half time. Actually, as a Liverpool fan, for me, he always looked sharp. The rest of the team, I'm staggered. I cannot believe, even as a Liverpool fan, you know, and you guys, you've laughed at us for 30 years. You've given us everything. And do you know what? In this moment of extreme happiness that I'm feeling, I'm not going to give it to you because I still respect Man United. Because as a football purist, I think it's fair to say I respect you guys, especially Mr. B and OMONDI, a lot of time and respect and admiration. So I'm not going to do that. But I also think, as poor as Man United were, Liverpool Football Club were fantastic. They were absolutely brilliant. And the bit that frustrates a lot of the LFC community at the moment is the fact that it's all about Man United and how bad they were. So when are you going to give us a bit of credit for how good we were? And that's the only frustration from where we're coming from. We were fantastic. Dominated. I mean, Ronaldo, petulant to the highest degree. Really, really shocked by that. You know, you got a teenager in Curtis Jones. He won the first challenge, okay, fair game. The second one, guys, you cannot stand there and tell me that wasn't petulance. And someone of the historical standing in the game, and as good as he is, a world-class, elite, one of the best ever, to kick out like that is completely unacceptable.
That was Trent, not Curtis Jones, wasn't it?
No, it was Curtis.
No, it's Curtis Jones.
Yeah, it's Curtis.
Oh, right.
Well, he won the ball off him. Off him. You know, I mean, we are allowed to actually, play against him.
Yeah. You know what, TTM Sport, I'm going to agree with sort of a bit to what you're saying there. Obviously, we can talk about Ronaldo being petulant. With that, I'm not making excuses up. He's passionate. He wants to win. At the time when he did a kick, I think we're 3-0 down. So at this, it was a hard day in the office, and we've got to give Liverpool credit for what happened yesterday. No banter aside, and I know on the show I was bantering saying, we're going to get one over you guys, but you have to give Liverpool respect. And what me, OMONDI, and I think Mr. B were talking, and I'm sitting and talking yesterday, when we see the lineup, we did discuss and we did say, when you look at Liverpool, you got Milner playing in the middle. No matter what system or how you play football, it will gel. And the reason why is because there's a style of football, there's a brand of football, there's a way of playing. And I was licking my lips when I saw your team lineup. But then I sat there and I said, you cannot take anything for granted with Liverpool, because Liverpool probably could have put out 4 or 5 youth players and you still get the same result, because Man United right now do not play as a unit. They're not a team. It's all a bunch of individuals right now have been thrown together. And it's frustrating as a Man United fan watching. And for me, Liverpool is, I look for, when the fixtures come out, it's Liverpool's the first team I look for. And the reason I look for it is because of the rivalry, the trophies we won together. Most of my friends are Liverpool fans. And it's painful. I know Mr. B yesterday was hurting because his phone was just going off. We're doing like the sort of a semi-pro, semi-preview show in the car, and this phone wouldn't stop.
I watched it. I watched it all.
Yeah,
I watched it all. And, yeah, absolutely. And I felt for you guys. You must have travelled a hell of a long way to go out there for a start, stopping off at dodgy service stations on the way up, and then you go and watch that. I mean, I'm not advocating. For me, it was a wonderful, wonderful day. If Tottenham lost, even better. And I'm a real football purist. If you just look over my shoulder, there's Sir Alex Ferguson's book, and that's a Liverpool fan. And as Mondi knows, for real, I respect Man United. I do. I respect him. I didn't mind him growing up, actually, until I worked. I worked in Asda at the time, and there was a Man United fan there. It's one of my closest friends, and it was 2014. We got done in at Selhurst Park, and Suarez was crying as he was walking off the pitch. And I come into work the next day, and he goes, "James," I went, "What?" He goes, "Go on. Cry." And from that moment, right, I thought, do you know what? That is it. That is absolutely it. And I just have to say, look, you're the fix for Man United is very, very, very simple. I was this close last night to going on Football Manager and go, I'll bloody sort it out. But no, it's the guy from Ajax for me. You need a simple tactician who's going to sort out that back line, because going forward, you can replace. But I mean, let's not forget, Paul Scholes on Wednesday night on BT Sport hit the nail on the head perfectly. You beat Atalanta, who usually are a very good team. Anybody who knows the game, Atalanta are a top 4-5 Serie A team. They're a very good team. They were missing 6 players, guys.
No
You know?
Can I just say, big up to James. I mean, I've got enough respect for him and everything else. But even through our dominant years with Alex Ferguson, we never gave Liverpool a whooping. They used to outplay us in the 90s, in the 2000s. They still used to outplay us and give us a tough game. And they always showed a lot of character and heart. Didn't want to lose like that. So what we saw yesterday was something different. And we've lost to Man City recently. We've lost big games before. But losing like that, the way we lost, is really sad. And a lot of the fans we get onto later, a lot of the fans are really disappointed, as well as most of the panel here. But James, like I say, enough respect, man. You know, me and you, we talk and everything else. And what I love about you is you come on and you're not mocking, you're just talking real football, and it's not going tribal and all that kind of thing. So I've got enough respect for you as a Liverpool fan and a football fan, mainly.
All right, let me yeah. Well, it's not even apologies, but banter aside, obviously Stoney's on the show with you, so I know that you're deep. So I'll be honest, the first time when you were talking about your storming the pitch, I thought this bitch is taking the piss. Yeah. But you're a deep guy. You're a deep guy. So you haven't come on here to take the piss. I know that.
There's no need.
No, it's exactly. The damage was done on the pitch, but I would rather you than Gems, because at least you talk. You come on here and talk football. I wouldn't be able to hack her today. So yeah, appreciated, man. You haven't stuck it to us too much. I'm sure that there will be conversation. I said, you've banged it on the head. I mean, everything you said to a certain point is, well, not even to a certain point, most of it is right. And I think that's the most jarring part about the whole performance yesterday. There's no good points, I don't think. And then you've come on, and I would rather you came on and stuck it to us, because I would understand that. But to me now, it hurts more, because it's like it's pity. Like your team did to us in the second half.
It's like a counselling session.
Yeah. It's like you took
60 minutes. It was after 60 minutes. I was sat there. I was thinking, I might go to the shop and get some milk. You know, I'm so sorry, but this doesn't happen, does it? I will never be in this position ever again. But I'm not stupid. I know football's fickle. I also know that football goes in waves, and I also know that you will go to Anfield and you will win in the future. Anybody with half a brain cell who understands the game, and I know that this is documented, and I also know that you guys will remember. So, you know, it is what it is. Man United, massive club, always have been, always will be. You'll spend the money again, no doubt. The reality is this. The reality check is very, very simple for Man United. You need a new manager. This guy, you know, his resume is Cardiff City and Mulder. And Ole, you know, he's got history with your club. We probably have the same with Gerrard in a few years' time. I don't know, but he seems to actually be winning stuff. So it's a tricky one. It's really tricky. You know, thank you very much for allowing me to pop on. I have a lot of respect. As Sir Alex Ferguson said, you know, we got a lot of respect for the people of that club. When he spoke about Liverpool, it goes back in return. The only reason why the banter is so heavy and everything is so deep and intense is because of an underlying respect. I mean, we are the most successful clubs in British football history, and you know, no amount of money with Newcastle, City or Chelsea will ever stop that. But on the other side of the coin, all I'll say is this, you know, Liverpool undefeated in 22 games in all competitions, and not forget, we were away in Atletico Madrid in midweek as well. So good start to the season for us. I think Chelsea are fold, and I think it's City and Liverpool all the way, no doubt. I don't think Chelsea will last it. I really don't. But look, guys, I'm going to leave you to it. Thanks for inviting me on. I appreciate it.
Before you go, I will say it on behalf of Man United Agenda. You got a fantastic manager, and your team for the last 3-4 years. You've 90 points, Champions League title. You've been a top side, one of the best sides the Premiership's ever seen. So fair play, take a bow.
Cool.
Listen,
We've got our version of him. So it is what it is, isn't it? Cool. No worries.
Thank you, James. It's a pleasure.
Take care.
Mate. And like I said, in the banter group, it's a banter group. But when he comes on here, we are, straight talking. But listen,
Absolutely,
thank you so much, James, and we'll catch up with you soon as well. Yeah.
Cool. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
See you later, guys.
Thank you. Bye. Hi. So, guys, if you're watching, please like, please share, please subscribe to the Man United Agenda. So let's go in now, and we're going to go more in depth now of Man United yesterday. So I'm going to flight some questions to you guys, and all it is, we just want to hear your response, how you're feeling emotionally. And guys, if you are watching, please throw your comments in as well. We'll read out as many as we can before we wrap the show up. So this is going to be, we have had time now to reflect. Ferguson had suffered huge losses to Newcastle City in the past. Oh, thanks. General censor is that we are playing more eye-candy football than under Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho. I would be an overcritic with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer losing. And let's go with Rebel.
Okay, here's my viewpoint on this. When you think of the Ferguson era, you think of a completely different situation. Yeah. And that is that there wasn't the amount of money that is involved in today's game in the Ferguson era. Ferguson didn't have a Cristiano Ronaldo. He didn't have a Paul Pogba. He didn't have these, what we now know as superstar names that are on the top books that are pretty much got contracts that are life-changing. Ferguson didn't have that. So the patience that was there in Ferguson's day to kind of develop a team, I don't think is in the modern game. So to that essence, I think this is a completely different situation under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the moment. I've said on this channel plenty of times, Solskjaer the player, I love the guy. He gave me some of the happiest memories I'll ever have in my life. Solskjaer the manager done a certain thing at the start for United. He cleared out certain players that did not need to be there. He started bringing us back to enjoying our football, but it's reached a peak, unfortunately.
Let's go to OMONDI quickly, please, with that. Same question on Monday.
All right, let's put it straight. Yeah, we were saying, are we being too critical on Ollie? That was a question. It's a good question, actually. Like that one. I think, no, we're not being too critical on it. This is a big Showtime club. We're not here for nursery, not learning on the job, that sort of thing. I know you compared him to Mourinho and Louis before that, and people weren't happy with the style of football, way with progression. But now we've got a good side. We've got better players in the side, and we need to make it work. There's no excuses now. We shouldn't be losing 5-0 with the team that we have. As good as Liverpool are, and as good as Tottenham were last year, for example, we lost 6-2, was it, or 6-1? We shouldn't be losing like that. That's really not good enough. And that, to me, it always boils down to the manager. So after yesterday, and what we've seen after the last few results this season, we've lost to Villa, we've lost to Leicester. I mean, to me, it's not good enough. So regardless of sentiment and all that kind of thing, he has to take responsibility, and I don't think he is. I think he's lost the respect to the players, and so I think we are being critical. And if you're going to take that job, top job, you're there to be criticised. So he is being criticised by me. For a long time now, as you all know, I've always criticised him. I've always wanted him to improve in certain areas. And till this day, I haven't seen any change. So I think the change has to come from the board and make a decision about what to do with him.
And let's go to Shah. Shah, atmosphere, white flags everywhere. Let's talk to you. Same question.
And you're on mute.
Right. So as I was saying before, look, if we were to ask everyone a week ago, we'd be saying, look, let's give Ollie another chance. Let's back him, 50-50 kind of split down the middle between fan base, I'd say, yeah. I think after yesterday's performance, we all have that underlying feeling, that we want him to do well. Everyone, if you're a Man United fan, as a legend. We've seen Giggs come in, he failed. We've seen legends come and try and take the throne of being the first team manager like Ferguson, and Ollie's done that to a certain degree in terms of atmosphere, in terms of style of play, but the decision making, the players selection, even myself, the energy, the enthusiasm that was shown in that match yesterday was so bad that there has to be, there has to be some sort of inquiry in terms of what is actually going on, coach wise, etc. So me being critical, that's I'm actually saying that Ollie and something needs to be looked at in depth to what has happened with everything that is set up in that coaching and training piece personally. So I'm with OMONDI at the moment. I think it is time for a refresh and Ollie's out.
Mr. B, Ollie, one of Ollie's backers throughout the whole last season, this season, and throughout as well. Same question as well about obviously we think we're playing better football, and are we too critical of Ollie at the moment?
Mute.
The football we're playing is playground football. Let's be honest. We were happy when Jose left just because it was Jose in. Jose had a structure. We didn't like it. He won something. He won two things. Van Gaal had a structure we didn't like. He won something. Ollie has no structure at all. But for whatever reason, we still like him. Up until yesterday, I'll be honest, up until yesterday, nothing would have swayed, well, little bits, I suppose, here and there would have swayed me. If we had lost 1-0, 2-0 with a performance that you could see there was an understanding to something, then you could say, okay. But when you go into this game playing, I don't care what was written down on paper, we played 4-2-4 against Liverpool. He played Greenwood, who is a striker. Greenwood does not track back. We played Rashford, who is a forward stroke striker, who does not track back. We have Cristiano Ronaldo, who does not track back. We have Fernandes, who I'm never, ever going to disrespect, but his positioning was as a second striker. You've got players in those positions who are supposed to be pressing Trent and Robertson. They dink the ball over them. They now have the whole pitch to run at McFuckeries. Backed up by Lindelof, an off-form Shaw. I don't even know. I think it's the 80 pence Maguire that we've got, and we've got De Gea. Now, you're telling me as a manager who's been managing this club for 3 years that's the instruction that you sent your players out to get. He got himself to sack. Whatever happens, he got himself to sack. My opinion.
Yeah. To be fair with what you're saying as well, obviously, I'm still. It's difficult, guys, because as much as we're talking about whether or not Ollie's going to get the boot and whether or not we've been critical with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and things like that, I said to myself, I'm giving him to the end of the season to find out. I'm backing him all the way until the end of the season. And like what you said, Mr. B, if we had a performance yesterday and like something we can say, right, we gave our heart and our soul and we put out something, and I can sit down and say, you know what? It's improvement. We're doing something. It's changed from all the interviews, what he's coming up with, saying, oh, we need to change this, we need to change that. I honestly would sit there and say, right, all right, then fair enough, he's doing something. But the manner from the first goal to the second goal to the third goal to the fourth goal and then to the fifth goal, it hurts me. And especially against Liverpool, it's unforgivable. I cannot forgive Ole as a manager for that performance. But also, I've got to blame the players as well. It doesn't matter if you want to play for the badge. Wait. It doesn't matter to me, yeah, if you sit there. I want my player and for my club, for these guys to play for the badge. That's my thing. They play for the badge. Don't forget about whatever tactics that Ole set up. And if you don't trust the tactics and believe in the tactics, go out and play for the badge. Play for the badge. That's what you're playing for. The biggest derby game in world football, and we got battered 5-0. Unforgivable. Oh, breathe. Let's get you on proper screen now, guys. Breathe, because it is bad. It is terrible. So, guys, if you're liking, please like, please share, please subscribe. We are going to ask, and I'm going to ask the guys another question, because this was a quality. We were with Matt from Football United TV yesterday, and he was absolutely a laugh with us. So yesterday, in Matt's word, we're opening up like a tin of beans. We're opening like a tin of beans. On paper, we have a top. A top back five. What are the factor for us leaking goals and failing to keep clean sheets? Because if I'm right to say, isn't that 21 games without clean sheet now, Shah?
I believe it is.
We've conceded, is it 10? How many goals is it? 5, 7, 12 goals in 3 games?
13.
Yeah.
13 in 3 games.
So, to be honest with you, right? We've got no excuses as these defenders go. They are not playing together. But a lot of the reason why they are not playing together is because of the tracking back that we have not seen happen, and then relying on McTominay and Fred to cover the positions. And I was like, Harry was in front of me. Like, I'm literally sitting pit side and I'm shouting at Harry, get them to come back. Do you know what I mean? Get the shape, because they were getting dragged to the ball. Their heads had gone that much. They're following the ball and not thinking, here, the space is there for Robertson, like you were saying, was just massive. And honestly, God, I don't think the structure in that defense, especially when you got Maguire and Lindelof, we saw those mistakes. The Fred goal was because of that similar position, and Maguire getting caught out on the back line, and that's not good enough. You can't be doing those sort of.
Let's go to Rebel. Your thoughts on conceding and leaking in so many goals at a stature in a club like Man United, really?
Yeah, I suppose I pretty much mentioned this after the Atlantic game. I was very concerned coming into this game about how our defence would hold up in a situation where we had to deal with Salah, the likes of a Mané and a Bobby Firmino. Liverpool changed the narrative in terms of what they put out in front of us. They gave us Jota, Salah and Bobby, I think it was. But if you talk about a back five, I'm looking at our players fully fit. I'm looking at, if you're say our top 5 players are Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Varane and Shaw. I don't know if there's enough work rate in that back 5 to play what we'll say is a Conte system. Patsy mentioned that he's looking forward to seeing Sancho and Greenwood continue their development as wing backs. Let's face it, they probably can't do a worse job playing wing backs than what Shaw and Wan-Bissaka are giving us at the moment. But I would have a lot of concern if we tried to navigate our defence into a back 5, because I don't believe the quality is there, to be honest with you.
Let's go to OMONDI.
Okay. Simple as this. Defense is everything. You got to start your building a team from defense. We've got a good defense on paper, that's for sure. That's what you said, Solo. But what we've been seeing in recent weeks is lack of communication, lack of shape as well. And the shape comes from the formation that we're playing. We allow Bruno to be cheating up front, like you said, second striker, Mr. B. We're playing, you've got guys running at counter-attacking us against Wolves. We saw it against every game we see it. Counter-attack, run at our defense. Our defense is not poor. It just means that the shape and the formation is poor, and that comes down again to the manager. That's why we're leaking so many goals. Not acceptable in my eyes. No way is that acceptable that we can, as these players here should be conceding so many goals like that. Chelsea, I think they conceded 3 goals all season. I may be wrong, but very, very minimal amount of goals. And their defence, I don't think, is better than us. Just they got a better manager who can structure the team correctly. So when you got McTominay and Fred, who are supposed to be these guys protecting the defence, and they're always out of shape and always behind, they let the ball get behind them, and they're having to track back. There's a major problem there. The manager needs to set it up from defence and make sure that we're tight and compact. As we set up against Liverpool yesterday, and the main goal should be, let's be tight and compact, because Liverpool score goals, they've got an attacking threat and everything else. But no, in the first few minutes, like as Liverpool do with most teams, they destroyed us, and it was embarrassing to watch, honestly. The way they opened us up, I know like a can of beans, but not my can of beans, my can of beans, my tin opener is really rusty and it takes ages, But this one's one of these electric tin openers, just like opens it well up, like a hot knife through butter. It's embarrassing, really embarrassing to watch that. And something has to change. They've got defensive coaching, not good enough. I think it's the shape. Get 3 man in midfield. Bruno, stop cheating, come back in midfield and let them try and play through us like that. Let's build like that. Come on, guys, we need to change something. It's so obvious to anyone who's observant.
And let's go to Mr. B, the defensive coach. Mute.
You know what? It's got nothing to do with a defensive coach. I'll be honest. Confidence is low. I don't think they work on defence at Manchester United. I think they expect these players to come in and just wing it. There doesn't seem to be any system, even when we're playing out from the back. You tell me where the ball goes when it goes out from the back. Everybody has a system. You look at Man City, all right, whatever it is, not bigging them up, I refuse to. Even down to Arsenal, as much as it burns, they play out from the back. If it doesn't go one way, it goes another way. What do? It goes out to Shaw, it goes back to De Gea, it just gets whacked up into the middle of the pitch. Why didn't he just do that in the first place? We're trying to do things that the players either can't be taught, actually no, who can't be coached. Because I believe if a manager comes in and tells a player to press and they don't press, they're not in the team. Everybody's saying now, oh, Conte wing back, the players are, it's not this, the players won't suit the system. Bullshit. If the players don't suit the system, get rid of them. At the end of the day, Conte's a winner. He's a proven winner, and he's a recent proven winner. So if that's who they're going to go for and his style of plays, those players better buck up their ideas. Get used to playing the system that the managers want to play. All of this, this player can't play here, this player can't play there. If they can't play, get lost. As long as he doesn't get rid of Rashford, the next manager can come in and do what they want.
Rebel. Can you hear me? Same question.
I suppose, yeah, as Mr. B said, it is a question of adapting to a system that our manager puts forward. When I look at Fred and McTominay, that are supposed to be the holding players in our midfield, I watched a very interesting video, and I had a discussion actually with Patsy, who's part of the Liverpool side of FTB Sports, but they are not natural defensive midfielders, and I suppose it's going to be a question of navigating until December, January, when the transfer window's open, on what we've got in hand. And as Mr. B said, if players will not adjust to the system, then they need to go. Like, there was a point of view put forward to me that Harry Maguire isn't the captain. When he put forward his speech yesterday after the 5-0 trashing, he said, I'm only here because I have to be. For me, that is an unforgivable sin for the captain of our team and a player that's probably at fault for 2 of the 5 goals that we conceded yesterday. So it's down to, there's a large element down to the coaching here. It's not just Ollie. There's the coaching system that's in place is obviously clearly inadequate for what we want to do. And I would be fully supportive of what Mr. B said, in that change is needed. And if players don't put in the work, then they're obviously not going to play for our badge.
That's a very good point. Absolutely great point there, because that interview yesterday, I think when we're in the journey coming home, I think I did actually watch that interview. Then I watched the Ola interview. Then I went and watched the Maguire interview as well. And what he said as a Man United captain, again, for me, is unforgivable. So I think I've done the round for everyone now. So let's go on to the next question. And this one here is going to be for us guys on the panel here. So the Man United agenda had a mix. We had a mixed feedback whilst we were at the game yesterday. I want to ask the panel exactly what is the problem with Man United and how can we resolve the issue that's going on. I'm going to start with SHAH first, because you're a season ticket holder, SHAH, so you get to see more than what we do week in, week out.
Firstly, these problems with conceding goals have been going on for the last few years, where we get caught out against oppositions that will draw us in. We haven't had that style, but when we first saw Oli come with that press, the hunger from the players this season, I don't think enough. And I think the feedback, and being at the matches and seeing that yo-yo effect of a performance, from players, is not good, and it's evident because it shows. The other things as well, like we've mentioned a few things today, communication on the pitch. We had Alisson in front of us all the time. He's just talking all the time to his defenders, just using hand gestures, movements, just to let people know what's going on, go around, just whatever he's communicating, he's communicating. De Gea, I don't see that with him. He's great at saves and all that, but I don't hear him. You don't hear nothing from him. You don't see much from him. And I think that's something that doesn't help the back line. I think Dean Henderson, when he came in, we saw a big difference to what, the defenders could see also what was in front of them, but they got a better idea of the pitch. So I think these are things that have not been coached or not been used in our armory, which we have. People have got voices, they can talk. And the pressing, the situation with the choices of Scott and Fred, they're great lads. They give everything on the pitch. I'm not disputing how they are, but they're not at the level to be able to connect our back to the front at all. So these are things that we need to look at. Our attacking options are fantastic. Our keeper is fantastic, regardless of the communication. But we have to remember that our problems are defence and in the midfield, and these things need to be addressed as soon as possible. Whether it's Pogba's contract, whether it's situations, get rid of them and start building on top of what you've already got, because it's not going to last that long before we start crumbling away again.
And let's go to Mr. B. The feedback yesterday, because boy, yeah, drama in it. Those feedback yesterday, what we got.
There's so much. I don't know if the word is negativity at the moment. I just want United to win. I'll be honest. I don't care who the manager is. I just want us to bloody win. We would all like to win in a style. I would take winning like the Atlanta game at the moment, because right now United are sucking the joy out of me. We sit down here every week talking about the same thing. And none of us ain't got no UEFA coaching badges. You got these men who have been studying for years and years and years, and they can't inspire shit. So the fans are going to be split, but guaranteed they're not going to be split once we start winning. Because let's be honest, whether you're a Ollie in or a Ollie out, we all want the same thing. We just want our team to bloody win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a process. Some people's attitude is get him out now. Some people's process was he shouldn't have even been there. And other people's thing is leave him for a little bit longer. I don't care what the club do, because my opinion makes absolutely no difference to them. I just want my team to bloody win.
That's it.
Yeah.
Amen to that, man.
Omondi, like the reaction we got yesterday, it was sort of like Mr. B just said, it's so mixed at the moment at the club. Some are still Ole in and want him to get the opportunity, but then there's a lot of people saying they should get rid of him now.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. What I found really interesting being outside the ground was the mixed opinion that we were getting from fans. So it was the contrast. One was saying, "Oh, stick with Ollie for sentimental reasons." Everything else, others were saying complete opposite. Was saying get him out, and there was a bundle of stuff in between. You're asking me the question. I think to change the solution here is we need a manager who can manage a football club. I'm seeing deficiencies in Ollie, whether it's his confidence, the respect that he's not getting from the players, maybe, and the lack of a philosophy. This is the main thing. To set up a football team, you need to have a philosophy of play, a way you want to play, and you need to dictate how the players, the roles the players are doing. So when we saw with Liverpool yesterday, we seen an animated Klopp on the touch lines because he realizes, doesn't matter who it is, there's no superstars in their team. It doesn't matter who it is, he's going to say to them, guys, you need to be here, there, wherever, and point it out and instructing things. And then managing the game, in-game management as well, doing that as well. So that shows to me confidence in what you're talking about. It's like football mastermind or mastermind. Your specialist chosen subject would be something you're confident in talking about. So Klopp would come on the show and say, well, talk to us about your philosophy. And he'd be get 12 out of 12. But Ollie would come on the show and talk to him about a football philosophy, and he'd be scratching his ear and passing and scoring like less than Talk MU, that sort of thing. So tune into the quiz show on Friday, Thursday nights. Anyway, I think that we need to change. There's a lot of things we need to change out there. First of all, we need to change the formation. It's not working for us. Bruno should be a number 10. First of all, be compact. Make sure we play a 4-3-3, 3 men in midfield, so it makes it harder for teams to play through us, for starters, so we stop conceding goals. Then start building on a strategy of how we're going to develop and build as a team. 3 years in now, I don't see any development like that. I heard someone in the comments earlier say about it, it's the players. I say, no, it's not the players. It's the manager supposed to install that into the team. So whether it's a change of manager or you get the manager to learn very fast, like as in tonight, or very as soon as possible, I think that's what it is. The manager is always the one responsible for dictating how the team plays and how successful we are.
And let's go and talk to the man himself. Take you off there. And last but not least, Rebel.
Okay, let's break this down. I look at David De Gea. Is he Peter Schmeichel? Is he Edwin van der Sar? No. They commanded their back line. They shouted, they roared, and they absolutely made sure that they were doing what they wanted them to do. Does he need to be like any of those two goalkeepers? No. If you have a strong centre-back partnership. Harry Maguire as captain is supposed to be your on-the-field general. When I think back of captains, I think of Roy Keane. Roy Keane did everything that he needed to do on the pitch. If you were out of position, he shouted it at you. If you didn't make a tackle, he shouted at you. If he felt that the team was wanting, he made that highly inspirational tackle to G up the team and get them back into the game. I don't see that from Harry, unfortunately. I look at McFred. Neither of the two are defensive midfielders. And there was a very good analysis done on McTominay and the way he positions himself, which prevents kind of getting out of the back line easily with the ball. If you're a Man United manager, you're going to say, right, we need to set up in a way that if Matic isn't on the field, who, in my opinion, is our only senior defensive midfielder, then we need to set up a formation that makes the best of the players that we have until such time as we can acquire those players. I don't see enough of that. When I looked at Sunday's game, the only person that was pissed off at halftime was Ronaldo. You saw his reaction and how he died every time we conceded a goal. that was the actions of a captain, because he wanted to get his team and drag them back into this game. Harry Maguire, as a centre-half, is too quiet to be a captain, unfortunately. I'm sure he could be a fine player next to Varane if we can get them both fit. But the changes I would make is no more this McTominay, or as Mr. B calls it, McFuckeries, in the holding pivot spots, because, frankly, they're not good enough in that role.
Oh, thank you. So, guys, what we're going to do now, we're going to read a few comments out. Amanda, would you like to read some comments out? And then we're going to then take it from there. And we've got a little video short clip up as well of Ole's interview.
I'm going to struggle to read a few comments out. There's been a load of comments that I've seen popping up on the screen. Just to cover a few, I like the one about the wing backs. Regarding Sancho and Rashford playing wing back under Conte, basically saying that Conte has a systems play, 3-5-2, and these wingers, we can't employ wingers in that sort of system. Leicester on the rise, so we've got Leicester Till I Die, so it's a song for Sound of Music. How do you solve a problem like Maguire? I think that's evidence to everyone out there that Maguire's been having a nightmare last few games, especially against Leicester and especially yesterday as well. Potsy's saying here, United, the worst pressing team in the league, tried to press Liverpool, the best pressing team in the league. Just another example of Ollie's tactical ineptitude in big games. In big games. Stop using long words with me, please. Pipes are saying United have no structure, particularly defensively. Norwegian PE teacher obviously doesn't work on anything in training. The defense follow the ball around like kids instead of blocking off the space. Brilliant, brilliant. I know Bath Time with Vaughan is on it. He's always on it on our show. Always delivers some great comments. Liverpool used to use a counter press. It was a faster call to do that, and Sion Ollie has lost complete control. He would never have made that decision without extreme pressure. This is not dissing. This is like proper comments here that we come in with. So the fact that Harry Maguire is the captain of Man United just shows where you are right now. You need a true leader out there, not a fridge. Okay, you had to drop in a little side dagger. Again, apart from the Leeds game, can't remember thinking United were in control of any match this season. I agree. It's the players dragging out the results, not the manager or tactics. I disagree with that. First part, I agree. Second part, I disagree. Potsy, but we can go back and forth on that. Bath Time says we don't need inquiry. We need to clear his desk and say fine margins and then F off. Yeah, I think that's the general feel here from the comments. There's loads of them. Sorry, I can't read them all out, but we've got to move on. Yeah, there's loads of great comments, guys. Thank you so much.
And we've got as well, there's one I saw. Hold on, there's Bath Time I saw. Guys, yeah, like Amanda said, we do apologize. There's so many comments out there. What's this one, Amanda? You want to?
Okay, so hi there. He says,
my problem is Liverpool fan, by the way. This is a Liverpool fan.
A Liverpool fan. Iva, aka Dos. My problem is why are all the players complaining now? How? So we can summarize that the players stop playing to get him out. Okay, if a new manager comes in, some players are going to lose their jobs. So he's saying the players aren't playing for the manager, Mr. B. Mr. B, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Jesus, me and this mute button. That honestly, if you look at the last, was it I don't know, I might have been talking to Stoney. I was saying that those players want to be playing in the Champions League. If it doesn't matter what the league form is, they're not going to win the Champions League. I understand that. But we all want us to get through out of that group stage. Do you think that they, kind of thrown the towel in the league because that's the bread and butter and that's where you think Ollie, because think about it, if Ollie gets the heave-ho, even if this went on till Christmas, but we were through to the Champions League, and their form dropped off, they would have until February to get the manager in, settled, to get them. I mean, that could be a good point that they stop playing, you know. As much as we might want to dismiss it, that could be a good point.
You know what? I'm going to sit there. I've been saying it quite often on this show. I honestly believe the players have stopped playing, but I'm not flying the walls, so unfortunately I'm not going to know. So guys, what we're going to do quickly, we're just going to listen to a quick Ole's press conference quickly. And like we said, guys, there's been so many comments out there as well.
Far to give up, but also that this was rock bottom. The manner of that defeat, the goals conceded, the players getting booked and sent off. How can you come back from this as a manager?
Well, the only way I know how to approach life, that's wake up tomorrow morning, look forward, of course, evaluate what's gone on, and do my very, very best, and be determined to come through difficult times.
Ollie, you said you've come so close to where you want to get to, but there's not a lot of evidence of that. What makes you so certain that you're on a journey that's going to reach a positive conclusion when fans are trying to absorb a 5-0 home defeat by Liverpool?
Well, this is, as Laurie just said, of course, it's the worst feeling. You feel rock bottom, and the feeling we've had that we are getting to where we want to be has been there. But then in the last few weeks, we've hit a brick wall, and the results haven't come, performances haven't come. We've conceded too many goals, too many easy goals, and that's a concern.
So guys, that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's interview. Go on Monday.
Just a pure lack of confidence. He's asked questions. Another manager would be saying, yeah, we need to do this, A, B, and C to change this thing. He's just saying, well, that's just a concern. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Oh, it's just a concern. We need to improve. How are you going to improve, Ollie? Do you see what I'm saying? Lack of confidence to actually speak about tactical stuff. I've said that from a long time on this show. From go back 8 months, I've been saying that he doesn't talk tactics on the show. He never does. Or he says, oh, we just need to improve, need to work harder, or anything like that.
Great comment. This is a great comment. Oh, I wonder how much football Ole watches. Guys, listen. With the press conference really upset me. I don't really want to get too much into it at all. I just want us to bounce back on the weekend and get 3 points. We're Man United. All I care about is result, and football is a result game, and that's all I'm interested in. I'm not interested in anything else. I just need us to go on a winning run, like what Mr. B said earlier. Whether or not we go and play like Atlanta, we go 2-0 down, and providing we win 3-2, I do not care. I just want us to win games. So, guys, listen. We've been the Man United agenda. As always, we've got on Monday, Mr. B. We've got Rebel. We've got Shah. If you're liking, please like, please share, please subscribe. Remember, we are giving you the chance to win yourself a Bruno Fernandes football shirt once we hit 1K subscribers. And guys, we do apologize that we couldn't get through all the comments from you tonight. There's been so many comments. Literally, I was looking on the screen and there were so many comments there, we couldn't get through it. But listen, we're going to be back here tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. You'll be joined by all of us again tomorrow night. And it's been a fantastic show as always. And thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the Man United agenda. And we shall see you tomorrow at 8:30. So thanks for all your comments, guys, and have a lovely evening. Good night.